After what happened at the office, I began to wonder if I wasn't going nuts. I'm so totally exhausted that I can't fall asleep. I'm afraid of the dreams I might have. I wander around the room a little. I guess I'll go to sleep when I can't keep my eyes open any longer.
See, it's little moments like this that really do sort of, have Fahrenheit really sort of work to its strengths, really. I mean, again, it's nothing major, just small introspective moments that really sort of build up the tension and atmosphere that, again, the game sort of starts off, really creepy and supernatural, and I don't know, I feel like a bit of the morose melancholy really sort of helps build it up. Oh, sorry, I've completely forgot the intro. Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to the Fahrenheit commentary, and also praising the game, bizarrely. But yeah, that's also one of the things about David Cage games, like, I mean, in the sense that, again, it has its big, pretentious emotion. You see, we will do is a multi-camera angle split and things meant to be the symbolic symbolism. But then there are also times when, again, like when you treat moments of quiet intimacy with the respect and, sort of grace that they deserve, they actually pay dividends to working really well in this whole sort of movie interactive game format. And again, like, I mean, it does show the sort of strength of these games, in the sense that, you're just, living a bit of a day in the life, and, as a result, growing closer to these characters than you ever would otherwise through big action set pieces, really. Is, something that the likes of Mr. Jaguartola and, well, obviously the aforementioned Hideo Kojima should really begin to learn at this stage. But yeah, as for anything else though, Lucas plays guitar, and now that his hands have healed enough, now we can do it. Although you don't really get to play anything rocking, really, so it's kind of a bit of a shame, really. So, yeah, you can play blues, cool, bossa nova, and that's pretty much it, really. No hard rock, no metal. Truly, this game is not 2005, but then again, maybe it's going for that sort of, like, post-grunge acoustic Creed, Shinedown, Theory of a Dead Man, whatever kind of vibe. And, yeah, practice.
Oh god, that was depressing. Now I'll never get the girl.
Now why would I bring that up at a time like this? Well, I mean, as the phone call back in the office had mentioned before Lucas's major freakout, yeah, his ex-girlfriend Tiffany's coming over. Don't exactly need to get the place ready, he's a pretty tidy young man, is our Lucas Kane, so yeah, not really too much else to do except for just sort of, I don't know, fart around the apartment, interact with things, drink some milk, take a nap, just pretty much go a wee bit doolally around his apartment, really. Again, as I mentioned before, nothing plot-related, but again, small things you can do to interact with his house, laugh at his furniture. And again, in terms of raw game mechanics, it's an opportunity to boost your mental health and, just live a day in the life of Lucas, really. And, yes, that earlier news report does change depending upon whether or not you did save the kid or not, and, yeah. Small things that affect the story. Except this one was honestly one of the more meaningful ones. But, yeah, like with a lot of, interactive dramas, as David Cage likes to call the genre, yeah, I mean, again, like with any story, you have to railroad. By the way, since you did take the medication again, don't drink the, alcohol under the kitchen table, because otherwise, bad things will happen, as you'd already witnessed. But yeah, as I was saying beforehand, like, I mean... Actually, I don't really have much else to say as we continue to listen to Theory of a Dead Man once more. All that aside, though, like, I mean, again, if you want to get the plot moving, all you really need to do is just go to sleep and, then you'll wake up when plot needs to happen, although, now we're kind of in the quiet parts, we've had our seriousness, we've had our big freak-out and action set pieces. Now it's just time to relax as we laugh at Lucas's generically branded, foodstuffs. I don't know if any of these are actually, like, official brands, French or otherwise. Because, I mean, bear in mind, this game was developed in en français, of all countries, so, yeah. There is actually one recognizable brand that I do remember seeing a bit later in the game, but, I don't know whether or not I put it out, so, I guess we'll just have to wait and see, but, yeah. Much in the same vein as, Heavy Rain, be on the lookout for Chip Chips, and Beer, and Burgers. Oh, I'm sorry, Lucas, am I boring you? What with my enthralling commentary about false brands in video games because I can't afford licensing rights? Well, it's not really a licensing thing, unless of course you have the likes of Sega with, you know, Crazy Taxi and all that, with all the Pizza Hut and KFC product placement you can ask for. But yeah, that was really more just to hold the time until we get to the next segment. But yeah, this is very much stuff that pretty much leads you to a bit of preparation. Mainly for boosting your mental health points, but yeah, more practice with some of the action scenes and a bit of a safe location, really. If there really was any sort of combat, it's really just more a continuing game of Simon here, really, so match the colors and, you know, by the time you do succeed, yeah, Lucas gets a little bit fitter and you get a major mental health boost. But on top of that, it also does illustrate two things. The first of which, more licensed music with Theory of a Dead Man. Can't quite remember what this song was called at present, but you can listen to it on Lucas's little music player in all its 2000s glory. And in turn, it does also highlight, well, Lucas's burgeoning abilities. It's not just psychic powers that our young man has. It seems to be something deeper, faster, provided he focuses Neo. But yeah, it's mainly where a lot of the Matrix influences begin to kick in as he frees his mind.
Something is changing inside me. I'm stronger and quicker. My God, what's happening to me?
Your mind is becoming free, Lucas. You know what I'm trying to tell you? That you can dodge bullets? No, Lucas. When you're ready, you won't have to. Yeah, but no, Lucas. You won't have to. And also on an incredibly chilly night like that, why the fuck is he opening up his windows? I mean, I don't know, I guess maybe he prefers the cold? Bit of a strange habit, but again, the term, the term and the game Fahrenheit is aptly named because, again, the temperature does continue to drop as, again, you read upon the weather reports on the internet, and indeed, as the game continues to warn you about with the snowfall and the temperature rapidly dropping. It does actually tie into the overall game, but, yeah, needless to say, considering how the plot sort of jumps from, like, 0 to 100 at a certain point in the story, it's, well, the reason for the temperature dropping is kind of out of left field, really, despite how naturally it should be integrated into the plot. But, I'll save that for a wee bit later, because in the meantime, I can't remember why I paused the game there. Perhaps something came up and distracted me. They happen. Oh well, as is with many things in life, now we have to deal with social interactions, like answering the doorbell. And dealing with the awkwardness of heartbreak. But yeah, this is Tiffany Harper, Lucas's ex-girlfriend, and yeah, as we find out here, she works as a nurse. Now, unlike Tyler and Sam, who at the very least have a bit of a baseline for what their relationship was like, you know, mainly in the sense that, you know, Sam wants Tyler to, you know, leave the dangerous life of the police force behind and just live a regular life, you know, as a shoe salesman in Florida. I don't really get why Lucas and Tiffany broke up. They never really go into the baggage of their relationship, so it just sort of seems that, I don't know, Lucas was...
Want something to drink?
I was gonna say that maybe Lucas was distant, or that maybe some of his, you know, psychic flashes would have come into play, that maybe would have, put a bit of a damper on their relationship, but they never really go into that being the specific reason, and the only reason why I'm really interpreting as such is because of, well, some later stuff that you'll be seeing a wee bit later on, namely in regards to Lucas's childhood, where, again, you see that some of his psychic visions were things that he had to deal with in childhood, but they never bring that up in regards to his and Tiffany's relationship. So, as a result, what you're going to be seeing a bit here, and obviously this is subject to change based upon some of your responses to our questions, as we're going to be seeing a bit later on with, well, a scene that might get a bit hachi-machi. Yeah, you don't really get too much of an idea as to... well, I don't know. You just don't get much of an idea that these two were, like, having a strained relationship, were growing far apart, or anything was volatile enough for them to sort of split, so... yeah, it's a very underdeveloped relationship, and as you're going to be seeing a bit later on in the game, as things really begin to heat up, I mean, obviously Lucas can't exactly go out and blurt out that he's a murderer, obviously, but... it just needs to be seen to be believed, really, because, like, I mean, again, if we're going to be seeing Tiffany again, but by that same token, though, It doesn't really feel like a relationship that was very well explored in the game itself, and yeah, that might have had a result to do with the game's development structure, because I mean, if I can say anything in terms of how the game was intended to be structured, it was actually devised as an episodic game. Like Fahrenheit, I believe, whether it was going to be PlayStation 2 or PC release, by the sounds of things, was initially going to be a 13-episode series. So again, you would have had certain chapters, I guess, delegated in similar fashion to what we're dealing with here now by certain segments where you control Carla, Lucas, and what have you, but yeah, for whatever reason, that was eventually truncated into just one game, and by God does it show.
Here they are. I think that's everything.
Is everything okay, Lucas? You look stressed.
I've got some big problems right now. I can't really talk about it, but it's fairly serious stuff.
If there's anything that I can do for you, Lucas.
Man, I wish there was, but no. Thanks for offering, though. Are you with anybody? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be asking you that.
No, it's okay. I don't mind. No, I'm still alone. And you?
Yeah, I'm alone, too. I've had a little trouble getting over you. Hey, I miss you, you know?
I miss you, too. You still playing?
You know, I really haven't even thought about it lately.
Play a couple of notes for me, will ya? You know, in memory of the good times.
Okay, sure.
Come on, Lucas. Come and stay a while and sing a little song. Dun 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 dun. And that's actually what we're doing. So I was initially gonna make whatever. It wasn't really a joke. It was more just illustrating what was going on. But it is also what your guitar playing lessons were leading up to. And despite the fact that I'm failing here, it is a much easier tune to learn than, you know, the bossa nova, cool, or whatever other songs you could practice in order to boost your mental health. This one is actually purely for a scene otherwise, because again, if you choose some frostier dialogue options, you're not going to be getting the next scene, but yeah, get this guitar piece right. And make sure you treat her right. And we get a bit of a difference between the American release of Fahrenheit versus the PAL regions, which get a little special surprise, for lack of a better phrase. But yeah, what a sensitive soul. Playing the guitar, getting all the girls. Well, I mean, again, it's a bit of a sweet-natured scene, but at the same time, though, it does also continue my point. Again, I don't see why these two broke up if they're so amicable in the breakup. I mean, you know, having a relationship of this sort of... I don't know how long they dated either, so... I don't know, it seems like if they dated long enough for the, you know, the breakup to hurt to any significant degree, it seems like... I don't know. It just seems a bit poorly written, and that's all I'm gonna say about it for now, as Lucas continues to play his heart out. And who knows, maybe the kindling will spark a fire of passion. Of love.
Well, I'm gonna go.
And here we go. Yes, indeedy. You not only get to have a love scene between Lucas and Tiffany, set to some of the most awkward love music seen this side of Star Fox Adventures, but in turn, yes. You know, this being David Cage, a French man who is all about the French cinema with the European sexiness with the boobies and the penis and the nudity, of which you get to see quite a bit of, actually, with both Lucas and Tiffany, you know. So again, it's all pretty equal opportunity here. But yeah, the differences between the US and PAL regions. Yeah, in the PAL regions, you actually get to have a sex minigame, where you're literally using the analog stick to thrust into Tiffany. In the American version, however, it's censored and you don't actually get to see much nudity, if at all, because that was actually going to bump the rating up to an adults-only rating, which would have affected sales. I guess Europeans / the Australian version was okay with this, but... Jesus Christ. It's kind of funny to me that games like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas got into deep shit for having minigames like this, but Fahrenheit and the PAL regions gets away with it unscathed. And this is actually included in the game, so, like, I mean, again, it's not like the hot coffee thing of San Andreas where you had to mod that thing in. It's for all to see. Yeah. But anyway, after a nice hot banging session, you can go outside for a bit of creepiness, but again, I mean, again, if I had the woman of my dreams in my bed and we just had a little bit of hanky-panky, I wouldn't be fucking leaving. So instead I say, horror, fuck you, I'm going to bed. So, that's what we're gonna do. Well, good night everybody, we're gonna enjoy our time having a nice little sleep, and on that note, I am Solidus-Skully, and I'll see you next time for more Fahrenheit hijinks. Catch you later.